Please. 0.
When I awoke in that room on D-Deck, I found that in my pocket. That was why I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find the pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least, that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice.
You meant to kill him from the beginning then? Musashido, I mean.
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the captain's quarters. I asked him, and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoken from sedation. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disoriented when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning, even though I didn't know who he was. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this so-called witness.
Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated.
Yes, so it would seem.
Dang.
I was little more than a puppet, in many ways.
How's it feel?
Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. Nijisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, I can't understand how I could have fallen into such a simple trap. But yes, this was a trap. It was Zero's trap. And I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to do.
And if it is Santa, technically, he hasn't killed anybody.
Yeah. By manipulating you,
He got
Zero
him to
was
kill
able
everybody for him.
3 people and keep the blood off his own hands.
Which is cool.
All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh? My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the Nonary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you.
Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the Nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing... No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero.
What?
Who else would want to be Zero? Akane? No, she's supposed to be dead.
Wait, what?
Snake? Snake? No, not Snake.
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose.
They want it to work?
There's another reason you guys were playing the Nonary game. To save someone.
Save someone?
Akane?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about?
How are we supposed to save Akane?
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw... What? What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki? Ugh! Oh, my head! My head, feels like it's gonna pop.
They're about to add another whole little, like, thing.
7! What the hell is going on?
They're gonna add, like, an entire other layer of psychology.
I don't know. I just... Oh! I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode!
Time travel only worked in the third one when their body was already there. So it's not so much time travel where it takes your body out of that time slot and puts it there. It just switches the consciousness of your past self and future self, or vice versa. At least that's how it was explained in the third one.
What was the Nonary Project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? For two organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory.
So is he still trying to transmit, like, the answer to how to let the past Akane get out?
Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were two separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic.
We got that part.
The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but...
Yeah. Why was Santa and Akane put on the boat?
But there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic with the receivers, like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't.
Oh, yeah, that.
How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's...
Magic. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures, then? Imagine a river that splits in two, like an upside-down Y. Imagine a river, and then, let me read this side. This is easier to read. Hopefully it won't mess up. The river flows from the top to the bottom from a single stream into 2 branches. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backwards. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am the 9th letter of the alphabet. I am I. But I'm also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0? 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0. Where did she go? June? Akane? Where'd you go?
Santa!
Why is Clover... Oh.
Freeze.
Santa's got a gun. The fun's just begun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head.
Get up.
Sure isn't about to take the gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through the door, but...
Hey, what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing?
He can't get through any numbered doors with just 2 people. The heck's he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to go make a wish come true.
That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the heck does that even mean? Dang it, they're out. And now the gate's shut. Really? That makes sense, Snazzy. I would like a present, though. Now the gate's shut, it looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache's gone. Seems to be all right. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door was still open.
Damn. Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
Nope.
You mean we're trapped?
So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
No. No, you can't be serious.
What? Why does he want to kill us? 1428. That's 3. We should have... Actually, no, we have the 6. The other thing. Thank you for the cheer, Bad Bear. Snazzy Bear, my good friend. That's a birthday present. I'll take those anytime. There's the red. If we still have the bracelet that's 0, that's actually 6, we can actually get out. I think. No, we can't, because that's one too many people. Balls. It's not going to work. You just had mad, huge deja vu? Really? From that little notification? Oh yeah, and Snake can take his off. That's right. It's not going to work. There's no way. 5 of us can't open this door. 2 plus 4. If we take away 2, we get down to 6. We need 3. Is there any combination that'll work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Sure, why not? I don't think I'm going to need them. Ever again. She certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations, a lot of them. Oh man, she doesn't look very happy. What? Hey, no need to be ripping pages out like that. Jeez.
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
Alright, at least 7 got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she's writing. Let's see. Leaving Lotus behind is the only one that works. What if they do... What if we do like 3s and 3s that can include 8 but not include 2? Tim's like, no objections here. She can go.
What? And there's no other way?
Lotus. Man, she figured it out too. It's too cruel.
It's okay. Go.
Lotus.
Come on, you know we can't do that.
Don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa, where the heck did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did.
Without... if you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
He sure doesn't have much confidence.
Bad?
Yeah. If there weren't assholes like you around, I'd be out of a job.
What a polite thing to say rudely.
Uh-huh.
7 knows a way around that door. That's right. He would know that he should be... Well, no, it's 20 feet up. We need rope.
Look, I'm just not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You didn't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however,
However,
I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace? I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier, at the Red.
oh yeah.
No! What is this? Why? The digital route should be 9! It has to be 9! Then why? Why isn't it opening?
Yeah, I don't know about the door that he
Just
ran
to
through
see.
the 9
Why
years
don't
ago.
we give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Yes, that is what I said.
Two, 4, 5, and 7 does equal 18.
You were right.
So we can't get out anyway. It wasn't because the 0 was the 9 wasn't 9. So somebody else's isn't right?
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital route was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
You think maybe they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
Well, balls. If Lotus can go 2, that'd be 6 people. You can only take 5 max. How do we get out? The walls are way too high. There's no way in heck we could get to the hole 7 popped out 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end. That better not be the end. I'm gonna be like, come on, Spike Chinsoft, make it happen. Akane vision? Top right, it says Akane vision. Okay. Okay. I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. That's right, he can do that. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off on the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him, and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on, over here!
That was my brother Aoi. He was yelling. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. Let's see if I recognize it. Is Lotus one of the kids? Look at the girl in green with the ponytail. Well, that could be her daughter. Okay, that would make more sense. That's her daughter. Yeah. Okay. I was like, what the flip? She's old. Anyway, they all look like they were about my age.
Come on, hurry up!
We ran down a long, straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It's been 2 hours since the Nonary game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking, which is another one of the names we don't know. He was blind. Freaking Snake's name is Light.
Hello, everyone? Could you come over here for a moment?
That was like super poetic, I guess, for the people, for the game people to make his name Light, even though he's blind. He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q, and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
Her name is actually Clover. Wow, okay, that's cool. As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers. Clover is the master of code names? That's what you meant.
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult.
And impressive.
But my sister means a great deal to me. And I hope that these would show her how much I cared for her.
So cool.
Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
Kaza, you're saying it's impossible for me to do that. He just, look, if you're blind, there's not much else you do every day. You read Braille, and you survive. And if you're a cool big brother like Snake is, I'm sorry, how Light is, I'd do it. I'd go around, like, if that's something, one of the smallest things I could do, I would just know where a 4-leaf clover field is and just go ham. Give a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Now, don't ever forget, so long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
Blind people can do more than that, I agree. When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. Kaza, he just feels around till he finds it. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with a 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Because nobody died, and they could do that. Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was only the 1. Oh, there was only the one door that had a 9 on it, not a door with a 1 on it. Okay. But if there was only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we gonna do? There aren't any other doors.
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already,
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes.
18 minutes sounds better than the other one.
Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
That makes sense.
Repeat. Emergency Incineration Command has been acknowledged.
What? What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
My brother Aoi swallowed hard and
I
answered.
think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn!
The plaque on the door says incinerator, and that voice said that the incineration is about to start. And incinerate means to burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like 7 had said it. The 4 of us who stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent, away from the incinerator, and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those doors and began up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother, Oi, Snake, and 7, so that other girl's name is Nona. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. So wait, we're going... This is a Kane vision saying that... Oh no, this is a Kane in somebody else's mindset? We leapt across as many stairs as we could, kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Nona is Lotus's daughter, yeah. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized...
Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jumpy's present?
I knew I had had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back, I had to, but I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me, I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think, I just simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, I reached the bottom of the deck. I ran into the hallway and looked around frantically.
There it is!
It was just where I thought it would be, sitting under the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but as I ran back towards the stairs and freedom, Jerkbird arrived. The door to the incinerator opened and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. 9 years later, we would call him Ace.
Ah, how wonderful to see you decided to come back.
His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as if someone had simply pulled up the corners of his mouth.
Come with me. We must continue the experiment.
I shook my head, eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist.
I said, come with me.
There was an edge of insanity to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Let go!
I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo.
Stop struggling, goddammit! Do as I tell you!
He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed.
Help me! Somebody help me!
Then, suddenly,
Akane!
the door to the stairs flew open, and my brother Oe burst out of it. Behind him came 7 and Snake.
Akane!
He cried my name again as he leapt toward Hongo.
You came back!
But then...
Ha! You're too late, idiot!
Oh, you gotta go, Dim? Don't worry, man. I'll put up on YouTube tomorrow, promise. Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. Or you can watch the VOD. The force of it threw me to the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him, I could see my brother, his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With the cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but not anything he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and removed 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets carelessly onto the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I were nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the 2 other doors slid shut. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9.
Akane! Akane! Are you okay?
I could hear a voice from the other side of that door. A worried, frightened voice.
Help me!
My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room.
What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here.
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door.
What?
Then it started again.
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
So I'm confused. In the incinerator, are there 3 doors, 2 entrances, and an exit?
18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Holy balls. Man, I knew that's what it was going to say, but those are one heck of a creepy voice.
I knew it.
It's starting.
Santa started the incinerator.
Fuck! Man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years.
What the hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about?
I don't know.
It's 9 years this and 9 years that, and when it's not 9 years something, then you're talking about some sort of fucking experiments. You aren't making any sense.
Girl, just roll with it.
I'm sorry, Lotus, but we really don't have time to explain it right now.
For reals.
I promise. I'll tell you everything once we get out of here.
But
Incineration will begin in 17 minutes.
you know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn. What kind of idiot do you think I am? I know what incinerate means.
Good.
Well, God damn it. Okay, fine. I won't ask anything else. Talk about whatever you want. But you
got a
have
theory,
to do
Whit?
something for me. 7, figure this out.
What? Why me?
Just shut up and stop this thing.
How the hell?
Okay, so you have your theory. Cool. I'll talk out any theories I have.
There has to be some sort of emergency shut-off button.
Like in the past, I feel like the 9 door he scanned 2 bracelets, and I think Akane could have just scanned her bracelet and then left.
There isn't anything like that.
Because he left the 2 of them on the ground, which could be the 2 that they swapped. Like the 9 and the 3 or something.
How the hell do you know?
Because I looked for it 9 years ago.
Yeah, Lotus isn't happy about that. Can't really blame her. Wait. The floor. It's moving. What else can I say about it
What
but...
the hell is that?
Perfect phrase.
What is that? What is that?
What else could I say? The floor opened and a machine rose up out of it. It looked like a computer. At least it kind of did. There was a monitor, a keyboard, and a cross-shaped device of some kind. Something about the machine scared me, but I forced myself to walk up to it. I was terrified. Tears poured down my face. I wiped them off even as more took their place and forced myself forward. Finally, I reached it. I looked at the screen. It was blank. All I saw was my own frightened face staring back at me from the glass, drenched in tears. All I can see on the screen is a reflection of my own face. I'm looking kind of freaked out. I know I'm sweating like crazy, but seeing it kind of drives it home. Okay, Junpei, calm down, all right? Everything's going to be okay. Yeah. Man, I wish that thing would just shut up.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
Making good time, though. All right, back to this thing. If it's only showing up now, then it's got to be important. But what the heck am I supposed to do with it?
Hey, move!
Yeah. Hey, we're all tense, lady. That doesn't mean you get to shove people around.
Okay, it's turned on. There's nothing on the screen, though. Oh, this is bad. This is really bad. If there's nothing on here, how are we supposed to do anything with it?
Sure, I'll just push buttons. I'm sure that'll... Well, at least it's on now. What's on the screen, though?
What is this?
What's up?
What?
It looks like some sort of puzzle.
It's got a bunch of numbers and letters scattered across a 5x5 grid. The numbers range from 1 to 8.
Do you think that if we solve this puzzle, the incinerator will stop? Yeah. Well, we can hope, right?
All right, puzzle. How do you work? Oh, man, that stupid voice again.
Incineration will begin in 13 minutes.
Well, that's scary. If I'm going to sit down and do this puzzle, I need to use the bathroom.